Hello and welcome to Initiating Insight with Sibongile. It's been a while, but I've been busy between getting arrested and trying to fight for our rights, brought about by what I call, and I have been calling it, the so-called pandemic. I've never changed. I've been consistent in what I'm saying. But again, namhlanje, I would like to talk about something that I have not heard being spoken about, at least directly or in public, in public. So I would like to talk about the South African Police Services, about the code of conduct and what goes around that. During my arrest, which happened during a protest I participated in, then when we had a confrontation with the police, and one of the things I said was that because we were not wearing masks, because we relied on the law, which is the Gatherings Act 205 of 1993, which states that when you protest, you should not cover your face, neither should you wear a mask. And when I then told them about that law, then they clearly told me that they don't care and that they don't know the law or that law. So my response to them was, so how you're supposed to be law enforcers, so how do you enforce something that you don't know? And they told me, we don't care, now we are enforcing the regulations. And the law itself is actually, it supersedes any regulation. Just go and check on the Gatherings Act 205 of 1993. And so that prompted me then to get to where we are today, where I would like to read, some points of the Code of Conduct of the SAPS, and just go and get it for yourself. And I'm just going to go read a few points. First, it says, I commit myself to creating a safe and secure environment for all South Africans. And then it says, for all South Africans by participating in endeavors aimed at addressing the cause of crime. And number 2, preventing all acts that may threaten the safety and security of any community. And then I will jump to, in carrying out this commitment, I shall at all times uphold the Constitution and the law, take into account the needs of the community, and then let's go to achieve a safe and secure environment for all the people of South Africa. I undertake to act with integrity in rendering an effective service of a high standard that is accessible to everybody, continuously strive toward improving this service. And let's jump to, let me open my paper, and it's making noise, but now you know it's a paper. Let's go to what interests me more is it says there's a point there where it says to achieve a safe and secure environment for all the people of South Africa. I undertake to act in a manner that is impartial, courteous, honest, respectful, transparent, and accountable. And I must tell you that during the confrontation at that protest, there was nothing courteous about their behavior at all. There was nothing respectful, except, I appreciate that they were honest, that they didn't know the law and they didn't care. But I mean, even that was a terrible thing to admit to. So what I would like to say today is that, I would like the police of this country, the South African police, to change the mindset a bit. Let's change the status quo, because I know, Wutsi, it's not just, in South Africa, it's all over the world. But I'm talking to South Africa because I'm a South African citizen and I'm here. And I'm speaking to the police of this country to say, let us change the mindset. Let's change the status quo. When we go outside as citizens of this country, when we see the police, we're supposed to feel safe. But we are actually scared at your sight because we don't know what you could do. other than the fact that if maybe somebody has committed or has done something wrong, or they've committed a crime, then you within all right to go and confront that person. You seem to do the confrontation any other time. For instance, right now, during this so-called pandemic, we are forced to wear masks, which is illegal, by the way. But you are forced to enforce the law that does not exist, and you do not even ask questions. And the reason you don't ask questions is because you don't have a voice. I'm talking to the South African police. You don't have a voice. What you have been given is power, is titles and positions that don't have power at all, because you cannot even confront your own employers. You cannot even confront your own politicians that are using you to do their dirty job. So you arrest people for not wearing masks, but you don't arrest the real criminals, because your attention has been diverted to useless things. And at one point you see this, at another you're thinking you're doing your job. So I would like to say, I plead with the South African police that you, and I've said this to some of you, that the difference between us and you is your uniform. Because when you take off that uniform, the truth is you're a human being, and you are a member of community. You're a member of a community. You're members of communities. And so when you take off your uniform, you are somebody's mother, you're somebody's father, you're somebody's grandmother, grandfather, somebody's brother and sister, aunt and uncle. So you're somebody's son and daughter. And the very people that you're supposed to protect, you are sent to them to actually abuse. So these corrupt politicians and these bosses of yours, the ministers of police who send you out to go and enforce the law and do whatever it takes to actually enforce the law, where you come across as barbaric even in enforcing that law, because you don't even listen to us. You don't care what it is that we say. You don't care what it is that we go through. You don't listen to us. You don't reason. It's almost as if you've even lost the reasoning capacity. So you have been weaponized, because you even carry weapons, and yet you don't have a voice. Because the reason I'm saying you don't have a voice is that I said it already, that you're afraid of losing a job in case you say to your employer or to that corrupt minister or to that corrupt politician or to that corrupt boss that, but we can't do this because it doesn't make sense. Then you're afraid that they are going to fire you, just like everybody else. That's why I said to you, the difference between you and us is your uniform. And so you've been weaponized. You've been you've been made out to be these monsters that are being afraid by communities when we are supposed to feel safe around you. So don't you want to change the status quo? Don't you want to change the game? Because these politicians and these bosses don't care about you. You are doing their dirty job. When we fight for our rights, when we fight for our human and constitutional rights, you are the reason we can't even win these fights, because they send you. So what's stopping South Africans from accessing and exercising their rights is you. Because when we do that, when we protest, when we go to places and places that are relevant for us to be fighting for our rights, because we have a corrupt government, everybody knows that, it's not a secret, then you stand in the way of that. And this is what I'm saying today, that please, can we change the status quo? You are human beings. You've got lives, like I've already said. We can work together. We don't have to be enemies, because we are fighting for the same cause. It's just you are fighting for the wrong people. You're not supposed to be fighting against communities. You're supposed to protect these communities, even, by the way, against this very corrupt government, because nobody is above the law. And you need, according to your code of conduct, you're supposed to even enhance your skill. You're supposed to even empower your knowledge. So you're supposed to know the knowledge. So if you cannot protect us, and you think when you are protecting your job, then it's not working. It's not helping at all. You're just being weaponized, and you're just a weapon, a zombie that is just being sent to do something that you don't even want to do, but you agree to doing it because you're afraid to lose your job. And some of you are being bribed by these filthy politicians. And you think money is going to save you. It's not going to. It's not going to. So why don't you let them do their dirty jobs and say no for a change? Because in actual fact, we want to work with you because you are among us as our communities. So we care for you, we love you, we appreciate you. But you need to come back to us as communities and stop working for these witches. Because that's what they are. Initiating Insight with Sibongile. Thank you. Bye.